Hey y'all, welcome back to Andy's Little Homestead. I have never made a political video before. And don't worry, I'm not fixing to start now. But today is 4th of July, and I wanted to talk about something that you're probably not going to hear a lot of, not from the news, not on the internet. For all the bad that you see, that you read about, that you watch happening politically and in the world, I'm here to say that I believe that there is still plenty of hope for America and for the future. And that's a narrative that you're not necessarily going to hear everywhere. But here's the thing. 3 years ago, I started making videos when I was living in a camper and trying to basically scrape by in the woods. And one thing led to another. A bunch of people started listening to what I had to say. And now we're at the point where we've got a farm, sawmill, we're working on building a house. And I'm grateful for all that. And, you know, everything that I do is pretty much done myself. When things break, I fix them. When things go south, I change my plans up and keep things moving. The thing is, y'all, is that, and people in rural areas already know this, the way that I'm living is not that unique. The concept of working with what you have and fixing what breaks and just that relentless forward motion, that's not uncommon at all in rural America. And it doesn't matter geographically. I'm from the South. I live in northern Michigan. It's the same. Rural is rural. The thing is, the hope for America and the hope for the future sure as hell doesn't lie with any politician. It doesn't lie with any sort of policy that gets made. It doesn't lie with how much or how little gets taken out of your paycheck. It lies with the people who have the ability and the willingness and the fortitude to move forward when things get bad. Because things going bad, that's happened forever. I mean, that's going back, I mean, that's biblical. It's not even a question. You've heard the phrase, hard times create tough men create easy times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. And, you know, I think maybe we could figure out what part of that scale we're at the moment, but it doesn't matter. Because regardless of what some politician lies to you about, or regardless of what happens, at this moment, somewhere in South Louisiana, there is a boy getting on a shrimp boat with his dad and going to work. Somewhere in northern Montana, there's a girl learning how to treat an infection on one of their heifers on their ranch. Somewhere in Pittsburgh, there's a kid in the shop with his dad getting cussed at, holding a flashlight and learning how to get an old small block running again. The future doesn't lie on the big levels. It doesn't lie in these societal ideas that we have about the way things should be. The future lies with how you raise your kids and what values and morals you instill in them, and your attitudes towards things that happen, because kids learn a lot more from who you are than what you say. And they're not stupid. They can see when their parents are struggling, when things are tough financially. But when a kid watches dad go without dinner so that they can eat. That's the man that boy grows up to be. When a kid watches dad not throw a wrench because something went south while trying to fix something, that self-control, that discipline, that's who that kid grows up to be. Every person in the world can fall into one of two categories: givers and takers. That's it. There are no other third options. You either contribute more to life, society, your family than you take out of it, or you take more. That's it. And in America, there's a lot of givers. You don't see it on the news. I have taken part in the time-honored Northern Michigan tradition of pulling people out of ditches, because that happens every winter. And I've put my truck into a ditch, and I've been able to sit there and confidently believe that within a few minutes, someone driving by is going to offer to hook a chain up and keep things moving forward. That's what America is. America is not represented by what happens in Washington, D.C. I don't care which side of the political spectrum you're on. If you truly believe that politicians and their ideologies and the things that they say count for anything, I've got some beautiful oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you, because, man, it doesn't work like that. And one of the things that I learned through getting sober, accepting things that you can't control. There's a lot of things that you can't control. But you know what you can do? You can put your phone down. You can go outside and you can plant next year's dinner. You have access to every piece of knowledge that's ever existed in the world. You can learn how to fix your washer or dryer. You can take charge of the direction of your own life. And not everywhere in the world has that. I've gotten a lot of messages from people, particularly England and Australia. Hey y'all, love y'all. Who say something to the effect of, "Man, you're really lucky, or you're pretty blessed to be able to do what you do, because every single movement thing that we would try and do, like, setting up a farm or a sawmill, is closely monitored and regulated by the government." That sucks, man. I'm sorry. And no, I don't like the direction that it's going. The direction is always more control, but I also know my people. I also know how rural Americans work. We'll find every loophole, find every workaround, do everything possible to maintain independence. Because that's what America was built on. That's why we celebrate on the 4th of July. The belief that us as a country and us as individuals are not beholden to whatever power structure is in place at that time. And America is not perfect, and that level of freedom has not existed for everybody in America for, all of its history. That's sad and it's wrong. But it's a hell of a lot better now. So y'all, I just wanted to say that to you. Just want to give you a little hope. If you put your phone down, you'd probably never notice the differences, the terrible things that everybody wants you to believe. It's still a pretty good life, and it's a pretty damn good place to be. As always, I hope y'all enjoyed. I love you. Happy Independence Day. God bless. Skytrack's running again.